Hello everyone, Jonas here, and this video I'm making because I have been looking around the internet for a long time, looking for tutorials on Gamemaker, and when I was learning Gamemaker, there wasn't really any good detailed tutorials. They were all like, do this and do this and do this and then do this, and they wouldn't explain to you how it actually worked, and how you could then modify it as you wanted to. And I don't know, there might be some out there, but all the most viewed tutorials are really not that good because they don't explain to you how things work. Um, so that's what I'm gonna try and do in these tutorials. So now, um, first of all, we'll have a look at the IDE here, and I expect you to already have this downloaded, Gamemaker. I'm using Gamemaker Studio, but most of the things are the same thing. Okay, so first of all, up here we have create new game, open existing game, and save the game. That's easy to understand. Then we have got this one here, create executable for target. That's pretty much making an .exe file for the game to run your game on other computers. If they don't have Gamemaker, that is. Then we have to run the game automatically, where it just runs the game for you so you can test it out. And then we have run game in debug mode. So now in debug mode, it pretty much means that you can change variables in the game while playing the game. It's kind of like if you ever had anything to do with Java, it's kind of like the debug function in Java, where you can change the game while in the game. And then we have here stop web server. That's if you have a web server going, it stops that. And pretty much same thing here. So now create a sprite. Sprites in Gamemaker are whatever pictures you have. It's the image of itself. You can either edit sprites to make them yourself and choose dimensions here. And it's kind of like a little paint editor. Or you can load a sprite and go and get them from somewhere else. Then we have sound here. You can create a sound, or you can just get one. Just like the pictures, you can go ahead and get your sounds. Here we have backgrounds, and that's pretty much just images that you create, which you can then go into rooms later on and assign them as your background. Create a path. That's something that I'll explain later because that's a little more detailed. A script right here. Create a script is pretty much, let's say that you have a lot of code, like maybe 500 lines of code, and that can be pretty hard to manage and get around and see where you have to edit things. So let's say you had one for crafting, like a section for crafting. So instead of having all of that inside of, like with all the maybe like fishing and walking around and attacking, you could have that in a separate script and then running that script directly in there, and you can go and edit that script instead. It's just for like making it a little easier. Okay, so now create a font. A font is pretty much just that you can edit fonts and you can choose what letters or characters should be in there. That's pretty much just because that a game can only hold so much information that it has to render every frame per second, and I believe this runs at 30 frames per second. So if you don't need some characters, you should get them away from there because they still, even though it's not much, they still have some size. Okay, so now we have timelines here, and that is pretty much what it says. It's a timeline. Then we have create objects here. So now an object is pretty much everything they see in the game. An object is, it's everything that is a part of the game, an object in the game. Kind of like if I got hands on my Coca-Cola here, it's not where the sprite would be more of like a hologram where you can just like put your hand right through. An object is something you can grab and you can use it. And this is pretty much what we're going to do a lot of our stuff. Now we have the room, create a room. and it's really that easy. You just click here and you can go in, and in here there are, of course, oh man, that happens. Okay, we have, just gonna get the debug window here down a little bit. Oh yeah, whatever. We have objects, we have backgrounds, settings, which is just width and name and speed. See, this is here. That's frames per second, which they call speed. We have views, which we can later on use for like mini maps and stuff like that. Then we have tiles, if you have a tile set, and physics, which is like gravity and such. Oh yeah, and how like scale. Yeah, and then over here we have global game settings. That's pretty much like general here. We have text to group, project info. That's like author information and such. Display name. We'll talk. I'll just do tutorial game, and you can choose company, product, copyright, description. You can get another icon here. Choose where to save it. App data or local app data. Then you also have it for your Mac OS. You have for Windows 8, Tizen, Linux, HTML5. Yes, you can actually do that as an HTML5. iOS, Android, Windows Phone. Let's see what else we've got here. Facebook also. Source control you have right here. App purchase, analytics, advertising. Easier to use advertise. You have all of these here. Extras. This yeah, I haven't really been playing around with this too much. Licensing, and see here. Yep, and Steam. So that's pretty much that. Let's just go way back here. Okay, general. So that's pretty much what that is. Here you have extensions, and that could be, for example, if you want to make the game online, you would need an extension here, an extension pack. But we'll get into that later on as well, I guess. Show help, and this is really good, because you can go into search here, and then, for example, if we didn't understand the if command, list topics, and it'll do here. Achievements, get picture, and it will get everything in here that has to do with alarms. It explains alarms. Analytics, event, it explains, like this explains everything. So if you're not the one to look at videos for all of this, this should pretty much be everything that you would need, because everything is in here. See, you even have like all of this, like DLC and stuff like that. So yeah, that's it for this first video. In the next video, I'll actually be talking to you about like we'll make our first sprite, and then we'll be talking about different kinds of variables. And even though there's not so many here, it's a good thing to know the difference, because once again, I didn't get to learn it till quite late on, and well, that quite annoys me now. So yeah, see you guys next time.